Welcome to the third and final day in Valencia. Today, we continue our tour to discover even more parts of the city, including the train station, the market, the Plaza del Ayuntamiento, and many others. So get comfortable for a visit to over 50 new places. And we begin with the train station. Built between 1906 and 1907 by the Compañía de los Caminos de Hierro del Norte, the train station was designed by Dimitri Ribes. It's located in the city center, on Xativa Street, right next to the Bull Ring and close to the Town Hall Square. What can be said is that it has preserved its old world charm with its vintage ticket counters and Art Nouveau decoration. Right next to it is the Bull Ring. Designed by the architect Sebastián Moleón Esteles, it was constructed between 1850 and 1860 on the site of a former square that, due to budgetary issues, was never completed, with basket handle arches on the ground floor and round arches on the upper floors. The building has a height of approximately 18 meters and the bull ring has a diameter of 52 meters. It's a neoclassical style inspired by Roman civil architecture and the amphitheater in Nîmes in France. It's now time to head towards the city center. La Plaza del Ayuntamiento is the largest square in Valencia. It occupies the former site of the St. Francis Convent, which was demolished in 1881. During the Spanish Civil War, it was named Plaza Emilio Castelar in honor of the Republican politician. During the Franco era, it was known as Plaza del Colorio. Then, during the democratic transition, it was renamed to Plaza del País Valencia, a name it kept until 1987, before adopting its current name. The City Hall is located on the west side, facing the splendid post office building. The current appearance of the square was designed by the architect Javier Gorlich between 1931 and 1935. During Las Fallas Festival, a part of the square is surrounded by a large fence, and the Mascleta, a pyrotechnic show, takes place there every day at noon. The square also hosts a Fala, which is usually the largest of these festivities. You can also discover the City Hall. It's composed of two unified buildings, the House of Education, built at the initiative of Archbishop Don Andrés Mayoral between 1758 and 1763, and the building that makes up the main facade, constructed between the second and third decade of the 20th century. In the center of the main facade, there is a tower housing the clock. You can also see two oval domes covered in ceramic tiles and the large balcony overlooking the central part of the first floor. The building is magnificent, and the best part is that it can be visited for free from Monday to Friday from 8 am to 2 pm, which we eagerly take advantage of. As we enter the lobby, we climb a grand marble staircase dating back to 1924. This staircase leads us to a crystal room in a Renaissance style, formerly a ballroom adorned with paintings by Tusset, and 12 marble nude reliefs inaugurated in 1929. You can also visit the Municipal History Museum of Valencia by appointment. Next, we we enter a small lounge that leads us to the balcony from which we admire the view of the square. Finally, we discover the room where the Valencian City Council meets. Here, two semicircular paintings were adapted to fit the space of the blind arches of the hemicycle. They represent an allegory of the Second Spanish Republic and Republican Valencia. In the first painting, the Spanish woman wears the Republican mural crown, and the Valencian woman shows her breast, symbolizing fertility. The partially nude woman of the Republic also represented the freedoms achieved. After the visit, we continue to enjoy the beautiful City Hall Square and its fountain for a bit longer, before we resume our tour towards la Plaza Redonda. On the way, we make a brief stop at the Church of San Martin and San Antonio. It was originally built in the 14th century with subsequent reforms in the 15th, 16th and 17th centuries. It showcases Valencian Gothic and Baroque styles dating back to the time of the conquest of the city of Valencia by the troops of James I, the Conqueror. The single nave is adorned with 16 large Corinthian-style columns and side chapels. La Plaza Redonda de Valencia, designed in 1837 by Salvador Escri Melchor, is a unique tourist destination due to its circular shape. Its interior courtyard forms a perfect circle with a diameter of 37 meters and is surrounded by a 3-story residential building with a circular structure. Renovated in 2012, it's a charming place with its ground floor hosting artisan shops, tapas bars, and stalls offering lace, embroidery, fabrics, and more. In the center, a fountain provides a beautiful view of the Baroque Rococo bell tower of St. Catherine. This iconic square in Valencia represents the city's traditional life and has become a must-visit for tourists. Not far from there is a landmark we couldn't miss, and it can be found on the Plaza de Lope de Vega. This is where we discover the narrowest building in Europe. Its facade measures 107 centimeters, and this house is literally squeezed between two buildings that seem to compress it to the maximum. The Church of St. Catherine is one of the oldest of the city. Its construction dates back to the Reconquista. The Baroque bell tower from the 17th century is probably the most remarkable element of the complex and has a unique character compared to the church, which consists of 3 naves with side chapels, rib-vaulted ceilings, and an ambulatory with chapels. It offers one of the most beautiful perspectives of the city, thanks to the beauty and lightness of its bell tower. It serves as a magnificent finishing point for the equally beautiful Calle de la Paz with its 5 stories, crowned by a lantern covered with a dome. The Tower of St. Catherine is one of the wonders of the city of Valencia and a popular entrance to the market district. And we take a break for a horchata at La Horchateria Santa Catalina. Horchata is the most typical drink in the Valencia region. And it's a place that feels timeless, decorated with azulejos, a type of ceramic tile. The Cathedral del Santo Cáliz, dedicated to the Assumption of Saint Mary, is an iconic site that bears witness to the history, cultural, and religious vitality of the Christian community in Valencia since the 4th century. It houses an extensive art collection, including the Holy Cáliz and significant frescoes from the early Spanish Renaissance. It's also home to a museum displaying works from various styles, including those by Maella and Goya. The cathedral, featuring Gothic architecture with elements from different periods, is a result of centuries of closely intertwined history and art. You can climb the 207 steps of the Miguelete to enjoy stunning panoramic views of the city. Just behind is the Plaza de la Almoina. You'll find the Almoina Museum of Valencia, which is an archaeological site spanning from the Roman foundation in the 2nd century BC to the Middle Ages. It's considered one of the most important archaeological sites in Europe. La Fuente del Negrito was the city's first fountain, installed in 1850. It currently consists of a polished white marble pedestal and a cast iron sculpture of El Negrito. The sculptural figure was donated to the city by the sculptor José Esteve Edo in 1979. The Towers of Quart, a defensive gateway of the city, are an example of late Gothic military construction built following the model of the Castel Nuovo Towers in Naples. Until 1874, this gate was called the Tower of Lime because in the 18th century it was required that lime entering Valencia pass through this location. The Towers of Quart played a crucial role in containing the Napoleonic troops during the War of Independence against the French in 1808. The traces of cannonballs on these defense towers are still quite visible today. You can climb up to admire the view of the city. It's time for us to head to the famous Central Market. It's the largest fresh produce market in Europe, and in addition to its rich and varied food offerings, it's located in one of the most iconic modernist buildings in the city. Covering an area of over 8,000 square meters, it's adorned with decorative references to the products of Valencia's vegetable gardens and orchards. Its structure, featuring iron columns reminiscent of the Eiffel Tower, as well as ceramic and stained glass elements, makes it an architectural attraction not to be missed. There are more than 1,200 stalls, and we buy some food to enjoy. Back outside, we take a moment to enjoy a delicious Valencian paella. Now, we pass by the National Ceramic Museum and the González Martí Art Museum. The building is splendid. In honor of Valencia's ceramic industry, the National Ceramic Museum González Martí is located in the building considered the finest example of Baroque art in Spain, the Palace of the Marquis of Dos Aguas. The museum houses the largest national collection of ceramics from the 8th century to the present day, including Picasso's Azulejos. You can also find goods from the Silk Road and learn about the lifestyle of one of the most illustrious noble families in Valencia at the time. The building itself is truly worth a visit, and its architecture is fantastic and looks like something out of a fairy tale. La Plaza del Colorio del Patriarca is one of the few pedestrian squares in Valencia. Although it's located in the city center, it's a very peaceful area and rarely frequented by tourists. There is a beautiful fountain attached to the building wall. Just a few meters away is the stunning Plaza Real Colegio de Patriarca, which is also not to be missed. The former Custom Square is now La Plaza Alfonso El Magnánimo, a large green space located right in the city center. The gardens are adorned with tall magnolias, araucarias, palm trees, giant ficus trees, and various botanical species. You can also find numerous statues here, including one dedicated to James I of Aragon. Across the place, you'll find La Puerta del Mar, a sort of triumphal arch. The current gate is a reproduction of the old Puerta del Real, which used to open the way to the vanished royal palace. The Puente del Mar, on the other hand, is a pedestrian bridge that diagonally crosses the bed of the Turia River. The first known bridge was built in the 14th century and was made of wood. It was completely destroyed by the flood of 1589, and in 1591, the municipal government decided to rebuild the bridge entirely in stone, which was completed in 1596. The port of Valencia is the second largest cargo port in Spain by tonnage, with a traffic of 65 million tons and the largest in terms of containers with 4.32 million TEUs in 2011. It reflects the modern dimension of the city and was built to host the America's Cup in 2007. In contrast to the old port, this one features a futuristic and trendy architecture. The city of Valencia, the third largest city in Spain, is forward-looking and clearly demonstrates it with this new port. like every day, we head towards the Maravillosa beach to relax and enjoy the sunset. And thus, our 3 days journey in Valencia comes to an end. If you haven't seen the first 2 episodes yet, we invite you to click on the links in the description to explore the rest of the city. If you are wondering how many days are needed to visit Valencia, we recommend a stay of 3 to 5 days at a minimum to fully immerse yourself in the lively atmosphere of the city and its local culture. With over 2,000 years of history and its wealth of contemporary architecture, Valencia is a city that will delight those who want to explore its cultural treasures. Valencia is a city with a remarkable architectural heritage, and its history has been well preserved. This is what we love about our travels, discovering culture and the blend of contemporary, futuristic, and ancient elements. See you soon for new discoveries.